Hi, I'm Michelle Berry Franco, and welcome to Lesson 5 in Authentic Powerful Client Attraction. So, we today are going to offer your services to the world with a price tag, all right? So, you are well set up for this. You are connected with your big why. You are regularly checking in on and reframing and breaking apart those limiting beliefs. You have 3 words that powerfully describe your voice so that you can write and speak and express yourself in your business in a way that helps people know, like, and trust you. And now you have a core message that you have crafted for just the right clients. And now it's time to just package the help that you have in a way that makes it easy for these right clients to engage you, to bring you in, to hire you, to help them, or to buy your products. So we're going to talk about the types of products and services you might offer, and we'll go into some detail around that. We'll talk a bit about how to decide which ones to offer, and I'll give you my favorite way to begin looking at that. And then finally, we'll talk a bit about pricing. Okay, so lesson is all in video today, except of course, high-level worksheet. So you will find a worksheet on this as well on the lesson page. So first, let's just talk about the ways you can offer your services. There are 5 ways, essentially. First, you can do one-on-one, and we'll go into a little bit more detail after I give you the overall 5 list. But you can do one-on-one, coaching, consulting, just one-on-one time. You can do groups. So you can offer your services through groups. You can do home study or information products. You can do a combination of writing books and paid speaking. And arguably these could fit into other categories, but I think this is a useful way to think about these, and I'll explain more. And then finally, you can do a hybrid of any of these, and most people do choose a hybrid. So let's just dig in a little bit more about what each of those means. So one-on-one services is, coaching, one-on-one coaching, one-on-one consulting. It's still considered one-on-one if you are working with an organization, and maybe there are many people on the team you're helping. Usually you have one point person and you're working on one project. So it's really time for money. And then you have group programs, and this could be teleclasses, it could be membership programs, it could be workshops or retreats, seminars, online or offline, things you do locally, things you create for you and others to travel to. These are all group opportunities. Okay, so we did groups, and then we have your information products. So this could be, maybe you've done a teleclass and you record the teleclass and you had a bunch of worksheets associated with that class. You turn that into a lovely workbook. You have the audios and the workbook, and you give people the opportunity to purchase this and work through that same process on their own time. These can also be they're called home study, information products, do it yourself. But these are just those packages where a person can take themselves through the process on their own time. And important to note, you don't need to be there for them to consume and use the information. Of course, you have to be there for customer service issues and questions and those kinds of things, but it takes much less of your time. Then there's writing a book and speaking, paid speaking. And, the vast majority of authors will tell you that they don't make a lot of money on their books. Where they make their money is on what those books attract into their business. So they may get paid speaking gigs. They might get definitely clients who read their book and say, oh, this is really good information. I want some help just implementing this. I want someone to hold my hand more. They, of course, can be invited in to do workshops at corporations or in organizations, all kinds of different ways. But you can build the platform on writing books and then getting paid to speak or facilitate as a result. And then, of course, there's the hybrid approach, which most people take. You might do some coaching and also create a home study program. You could be a speaker and also facilitate retreats. You might be a book writer and facilitate retreats and be a speaker. So you get it, right? There are lots of ways that you can put all of this, put these different elements together to create your offering. What I don't want is for you to feel overwhelmed right now. So if you are, just take a deep breath. These are the options, and we don't want to be paralyzed by choice here. So here's the question I want you to ask yourself. And this is the question I ask myself. This is the question I ask clients as we get to this stage in our work together. What do you love to do? What's your favorite way to be of service? And this can make things very simple. I have one client who is an organizer, a professional organizer, and if she doesn't get to go into people's houses and move, I'll give you the rated G version, move stuff around with her hands, she starts to get really frustrated and stagnated in her own business. She needs to do some one-on-one work. It doesn't mean it's the only thing she'll do, but that's where we want to start. And that's where we want to focus for a while, because that keeps her energized and immersed in the beautiful outcomes that she brings to her clients' lives. She loves seeing the transformation. I have another client who is a coach who likes to coach and has been coaching for a long time, but is really moving into a place where she loves to create. She kind of wants to, now after all of this experience, she wants to kind of cocoon in a bit, write about what she's experienced and share it with a much broader audience than she can do one-on-one. Well, it's good for her to focus on home study and maybe writing a book right now. So ask yourself that question, what do you love to do? And so that's the place to start. Just start there. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing can be so tricky, right? And I know that, especially for those of us who are very heart-centered in our work, pricing can be difficult because we would do this without pay because we love it and we know that it makes a difference in people's lives. And yet, of course, most of us cannot do this without pay because we need to sustain ourselves so we can keep doing this work. And even if we don't need to sustain ourselves for some reason, there is, and I have had many conversations with clients about this, there is this energetic confirmation that comes from the balance that paying for your service brings. It's an affirmation. It's a way of putting value on it, not just for the client. Yes, for the client too. They'll work harder, and there's research to support that, but also for yourself. So money is important. And here are some of the ways to think about how to price your products, because it will be different depending on who your right clients are. So you want to ask yourself, now that you've done this deep dig on your right clients, you have a sense then of their general financial status. What will they be willing to pay? What can they pay for? What are they willing to invest? There is a price that's too little. There's a price that says, I don't value my work enough, and this probably isn't very good. And that's what your clients will think if it's too low, that it's not a high quality enough product. If it's too high, they may want it, but just believe they can't invest in it. So you have to ask yourself what fits for your right clients. Also, your own brand. Are you a luxury brand? Are you trying to create a brand that reaches out to and speaks to the luxury market? And if so, you've got to price accordingly. And that kind of goes back into the first category, but it's taking a look at what you're trying to build and coming from that perspective. And of course, there is your known expert status. The more well-known you are for your expertise in this area, the more you can charge and should charge, so that there's a consistency across what the marketplace expects you to be charging and expects you to value your work at, and what your right clients will pay. So there is some way to think about pricing anyway. I know this is a complex issue, and I'm here if you need me. And this is another meaty one. So spend some time on this, and I'm a reply away. If you have any questions, just hit reply to the lesson email that came in, and I will see you in about 4 days. Take good care.